Welcome into Animan Plus, episode 73, the anniversary of Animan. Today is what? The 20th of May, which is the anniversary of Animan. You know what? This is something to celebrate, because let's be honest, Zach, I know you weren't on the original version of Animan, but the fact that we're 2 years later and this show is still alive is something to celebrate, because Animan was a rough experience. But
I don't know what y'all did with that one.
That was dark times. That show was so bad. That show was so bad. In one episode of Animan Plus, we had already completely doubled, quadrupled our listens and downloads across 8 episodes of Animan. Shout out to 2 years though. Shout out to 2 years Animan. Shout out to 2 years of Sparky 3 game setting. 2 years of doing everything. You know, Zach's pretty much been here for pretty much almost the whole 2 years, year and a half, really.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So how you feeling today on this wonderful 2-year anniversary?
I'm doing good. Doesn't feel like 2 years for me, but I mean, it would have only tied a knot if you had called me and went hey, we're recording in 2 minutes. Get here. I went, fuck.
Good old throwback there. It's like Zach's introduction to Animan Plus. I gave him a 3-day heads up. And let me say, you went above and beyond. You didn't have to do that. We only were going to talk about a couple things, and then this dude reads 500 fucking chapters in 3 days to prepare for this show. Some ridiculous amount.
You sent me a script, and I saw a bunch of chapter numbers and went, I haven't read these.
Yeah,
I can do this.
Yeah, it's what's this? What's this series? Oh, it's this. Oh, okay. It's I'll try it out. With the anniversary of everything, we do a promo code ANNIV, because anniversary did not fit on Teespring. Did not know that. So yeah, ANNIV, 25% off everything in the merch store. Pick up some merch at Sparky3shop.com. Sign up for the website, Sparky3.com. You can sign up for free or sign up $5 a month. Join the Discord. Please join the Discord. Let's keep building that Discord, especially because we're going to be join the Discord. Okay, listen, if you are a football fan, especially join the Discord, because Terrible Football Show is more than likely actually going to go live this fall. I think it's going to happen. Me and Tyler and Shane, we're talking a lot. We're getting ready. We're getting prepped, and we think it's happening, legit. I think this is going down, and we're wanting to bring in callers from the Discord, so that's gonna be pretty fun there. You can follow us over at Twitter at Animan Podcast. Check out the other shows, Game Static, Terrible Football Show, talk about movies and stuff, and our newest show, Spark Bark, your one-stop shop for BS and nonsense. And I think that about covers it. The plugs. Well, for the Animan Plus anniversary, you want to give any shout outs to anything from the past, any funny moments, incredible episodes, anything along the sorts?
You just threw that on me. I can't think of anything on. I mean, there's a couple.
The hippo, of course.
There's hippo, but we shout that out all the time.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's classic. I mean, we gotta
the Josh realization of the wild body pillow out there somewhere.
That is one of my favorites. That is one of my favorites.
Josh calling back that we didn't note anything about him not knowing Naruto, right as our little panel forum said he forgets he knows Naruto.
Yeah, I made a short out of that, didn't I?
That was a killer.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
The fucking journey that has been Dragon Quest die.
True.
And being blessed with the series that was Sabuki Bisco and the wild shit that was.
Jesus Christ, what a fucking show, dude. Also, shout out to Diaz. It all started out with a kiss. Yes. How did it end up like this? When he was talking about the Naruto Sasuke fight.
Oh, man.
Shout out to episode 50. That's still a very good episode. I definitely still recommend anyone listen to that. Oh, and also, Josh is here. Hey, Josh, how are you? All right. Hey, good to hear. Good to have Josh here for the 2-year anniversary with his... God, he hates that. The fact that we have a pillow of him so much. And it also comes back to what Zach was saying about Josh's realization that the original body pillow, which was an actual body pillow, by the way, was just lost in shipping.
Yep.
So it's when we were having that conversation and we were wrapping things up, and I literally said, we're gonna wrap up the show sort of okay, right? I was like, okay. And Josh wait. And I'm like, yes. He's like, so you're telling me somewhere in the wild, potentially in someone's possession right now, there's a pillow with my face on it.
And me and Alex, for some reason, not even connecting the dots to that until Josh mentioned and going, yeah?
Yeah, that's legit. Yeah, someone might have a body pillow, might just find him. Like, who the fuck is this guy? He's pretty handsome, though. What they don't know is he was voted most handsome his senior year of high school. So
Was he really?
Yeah, he was like legit. He's voted.
Props to Josh.
Yeah, I mean, he's a handsome fella, which shout out to him. He made it to the show with his, little pillow. He's here with us in spirit. That's all that matters. Yeah, we haven't had like a third camera angle set up for this show, like since we rebranded to the new layout, whatever.
Yeah.
So like we haven't had a chance to show off Josh on the show that he's actually on. But meanwhile, he gets cameos in every other show because it's just in the shot, like when Shane's over there, or Tyler, or John, or Diaz is there. It's like he's just always in the shot. So he makes cameos on everything else, but he doesn't make any appearances on the show that he's actually a part of. Which hopefully sooner or later Josh can come back. I don't even know if he listens to the show. Me and him don't talk about the show a whole lot besides like him just continue to reaffirm, yes, I want to come back. Work just continues to fuck my butt. So one day.
It's going to be weird whenever he's back and we have a 3-man crew again on this.
I know. Whenever he does come back, look, I need to talk to him and I need to like make sure that like his actual return, the first episode, be in studio. I'm gonna make that happen. Because I know everything after that it'll just be like via Discord. I know it will, just based on where he lives and where when we would record and shit like that. But the first one back, he needs to be in studio. We're gonna have a great time, just like we're gonna have a great time on today's episode. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Summertime, Shield Hero, Tomodachi Game, Meme Quest, Spy Family, the usual good stuff. Where do we want to start? Want to start summertime? Summertime's good.
I mean, summertime sounds good.
Man, here's the thing. Listen, I need you to watch the show because I really do think you're going to like the show. I'm telling you. The show is so good. The show's so good. So it's like some of the like little tidbits that I've mentioned and like even you followed up and asked like, okay, what about this? What about this? Like this episode gave us a lot of answers on some of those questions. Like, how I mentioned whenever the couple times he died, it's like he went forward.
Yeah.
That was answered this episode.
Okay.
The separate colored eye thing that wasn't like initially like it's like you see it at first and you're like, all right, whatever. Our character has 2 different colored eyes. No big deal, right? Like it's never mentioned until like episode 2. He's just like, why is my eye blue? That's weird. It wasn't blue before. That gets answered, and it's just like the build up. The build up is so nice. Like I mentioned last week, where I'm really enjoying this. Like maybe over a Tomodachi Game, which is both in like the horror genres, because like this is again a 24 episode series for this season. And the build up is slow. It places everything perfectly for you to just give you all the tidbits that you need and build it up. So with this episode, it immediately picks up on not the shadow Yuchi who went up to the top where the episode ended with like the demonic smile, whatever, blah, blah. Okay. It picks up at the actual Yuchi who was with the shadow Noah and the big titty purple hair chick. I keep forgetting her name. She comes in and shoots that Noah in the face, whatever, but it's still a shadow, so she doesn't kill it yet. It kind of like regains its form, and Noah's just like, wow, you're a bitch. Why did you do that? There was a little moment where then she actually manages to kill said shadow by basically shooting the shadow's shadow. That's how she initially killed it, was destroying its own shadow.
Okay.
Yeah, so Yuchi didn't get his leg broke. Cool. But his arm's still fucked up. That's cool. They have like a little conversation. He's like, how the fuck did you kill it? She kind of gives some backstory. It's like how you can spot shadows in the wild, where it's just like they'll almost kind of like hover off the ground, just like the smidgest bit, whatever. There's like little tidbits that you can look for to basically spot who is a shadow and who's not. And after this kind of conversation, that's when it's just like Yushi's just like, all right, I'm going to go up these stairs now because I know my shadow's up there. I saw Yuchiro, her shadow, who thinks that she's an actual, the actual person. Yeah. You actually see her run up the steps, like, while they hid in the bush because like, the purple chick's like, ooh, a shadow's coming, hide. And it's like Yuchiro, you see that, whatever. Yuchi goes up there, and this is when shit gets batshit crazy because like Yuchi gets up there, he sees one of his friends, the female friend of the group. She's not like an overly important character. She's just like one of their friends, whatever. She's standing there. Yuchi comes up, says something to her. She turns around. Yuchi takes a step forward. He realizes he steps in something, looks down. He steps in blood, and he's looking around. There's just, dude, there's so much blood. There's blood everywhere. And then, dude, brutal quick shot, man. Dude, this friend gets stabbed in the back of her head by one of the other shadows. I think it was with an axe, just axe to the back of the head. She dies. You know, you see a literal pile, a mountain of dead bodies of everyone that was at the festival. You see like Yuchi's shadow holding Orshiro's shadow over his shoulder. You see the male friend. You know, again, forgot his name. You know, he confessed to Noah last episode that he liked her. You see him like kind of hovering over Noah with an axe in the back of his head, being killed by his own shadow.
Gotcha.
You know, meanwhile, Noah, she's still alive. She's still good, whatever. And, dude, it's just like a horrific shot of just dead bodies everywhere, blood everywhere. I mean, it's brutal, dude. It's intense. Like, you see, you actually see one of the shadows, like, I guess, like, take what their normal form would look like, where it's just like a pure, like, black-esque figure, right?
Okay.
You know, and basically, like, you see like the moon start to kind of like turn red, whatever. You see like the shadows kind of come around, and as it does, like it basically can like think of a Thanos snap,
Okay.
but like not actually dusting, but like you remember in I think it was remember in Far From Home when they gave you the TLDR of when everyone came back from the Thanos snap, and you just see people start popping up.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but people popping away.
Okay.
Yeah, that's essentially what can happen with this strange shadow that's now like kind of going around, whatever. Like, it was like you see like the pile of dead bodies just poop away like nothing. It was easy peasy. You know, Noah ends up getting popped away. You know, as Yuchi's like reaching for whatever, gets popped away right in front of him.
So it's literally like the One Piece episode when Kuma sends everyone away.
Yes.
And just pause. Whoop.
Yep. Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly. You see a little girl in the sky who I guess is like our antagonist, like some sort of like demon spirit thing, whatever. She's the one that's basically orchestrating this entire thing and wants all these souls and to devour people, whatever, and blah, 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 right? You know, and apparently Yuchi's eye, the blue eye, is apparently her eye, because when you see her, you see that one eye is completely white and one eye is like whatever color.
Okay.
And when it comes to Yuchi's eye, it basically has that ability to like time loop and time travel, whatever. So you get that, and you get that kind of question answered. It's like, okay, so this is the relevance of the eye that you gave one little tidbit for. And I also want to stress to anyone listening, if you listen to the show normally, you already know I'm terrible at explaining things. I apologize. Just watch the fucking show. It's amazing. But, you know, that was like a little tidbit that was kind of already kind of teased, sprinkled. Wasn't really too focused on it. It was like a quick like, oh, that's a thing anyway. And then we kind of loop back to that, to like why it's a thing. And it's just like, dude, it's such a brutal shot where it's like now the shadow is going around the entire island. You know, it's like, it's almost like water. It looks like in a way where it's just like black water in a way.
Yeah.
It's going around the entire island, just boop, 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 just taking everyone with them.
Okay.
Eating them up, and she's just getting stronger as it goes. You know, and that's when, you know, Yuchi's sitting there thinking to himself how he's like, you know, he's such a failure and this and that, you know, trademark protagonist thoughts. And that's when he tells purple-haired chick, who also got fucked up in this entire scenario because, like, you know, she has a shotgun, whatever, like I already mentioned. One of the shadows creates like the big black-looking shadow thing creates like another version of a shadow where it also popped up with a gun and shot at her and like grazed past her head. So like her entire head's all bloodied up and fucked up now. You know, but like once he kind of has like that, like, oh God, I suck. I need to fix this. Basically, you know, he does what I thought was going to happen eventually, based on how the opening ends for this series. Because the opening ends with him with his arm extended with a pistol, and then he whips it over to his head, and the opening ends with him pulling the trigger. So like I had a feeling that's what this show was going to turn into, where he was going to kill himself to start a loop.
The more you describe this series, the more all I can go is, this is just taking all the Persona plots and putting them into one.
Well, I don't know about Persona plots, so I'm just going to go with what you said and roll with it. But I knew it was going to happen eventually, where he was going to like just let himself die or find a way to kill himself, you know, to restart the loop. So that's what he did here, is that he told her to shoot him in the head and kill him. You know, she only had one shot left. So she said, like, you better be right, you know. So she shoots him. You see his head just like pop, whatever, kind of like Mr. Fantastic's head in Doctor Strange. Spoiler. I don't care. It's all right. People have seen it at this point. That shit was fucking leaked all over Twitter and everything before the movie came out. Everything with that scene, anyway. You know, then while he's going through the time loop again, you know, he can actually start to hear Urshiro's voice more, right? You know, start to talk to him. And this is where one of the other questions was answered, where she said, like, you know, on this day, which I think was like July 25th, the day of the festival,
okay,
everyone will die. You have until then to kind of figure this out, which gives me like some almost like some Majora's Mask vibes, which is kind of cool. And she also states this power has its limits. Keep that in mind, whatever, and just protect Noah. And then once he gets back, it's again further ahead of where he was before.
Gotcha.
And also, once he realizes that, he has a moment where he starts like mapping out his plot, where whatever he did previously is also going to carry over. Because like, so with the first 2 loops that he was in, right? Like the initial starting loop, right? When Noah was coming down the hill, when she fell into the water, she just fell into the water herself. Like, he's just like, oh, what the fuck? And in the second loop, he tried to stop her. He gets hit and he goes into the water. Okay. The first time he didn't go into the water initially, right? So when it comes to this now 3rd loop that he's in, when he's already like all that scene's already happened, and him and Noah are like walking up, walking to heaven where they're going, like he realizes his clothes are wet because he got knocked into the water because he tried to stop her that second loop. So that's when he starts to realize that, okay, I'm moving forward each time I come back. I'm moving forward X amount of time. And also, whatever I did previously, whenever it's going to move forward again, is going to remain as well. So he's basically starting to really like track his decisions, and which he's already kind of starting to do anyway, because even in like this horrific scene that's happening, right? He, in the initial moment where it's like the pile of the dead bodies and shit like that, right? He's looking around and he sees like all the like the shadows, right? And he just starts like instinctively counting them because he's gathering information, right? He counts, I think, like 11 shadows. So, that gives him information for this next loop that, there should probably be like 11 shadows on this island because that's what he counted. It's just such a fascinating show, bro. Like, I love how the plot is just like giving you the little tidbits at a time. And it's going to be interesting to see how he continues to utilize that and shape each loop. Because, like I said, whatever he's going to do. So like, let's say where he's at now, fast forward a couple days to the 25th and he dies again and gets sent back. Right.
Okay.
This moment he's at now where he was walking up the hill with Noah, when he comes back next time, it could be, 2 hours later from that point. So whatever he's doing from that point on the hill to the next point 2 hours later, he comes back, everything in that 2 hour period is going to remain. So it's going to be very interesting to see how everything kind of plays out here. Because, dude, this episode answered a lot. This episode answered a lot of questions, raised more questions, continued to give you more little tidbits for the plot and about where we're going.
And what episode was this?
Episode 5.
And it's 25 episodes?
24.
So there's 19, 19 more episodes?
Yep. This guy's going to die a lot. And he's going to kill himself a lot.
Okay.
Man, good. I'm having a good time. Lots of stuff to dive into. Lots of information to find out. I'm looking forward to finding it out. Where do we want to go from here?
Shield Hero?
Shield Hero was good. Episode 7. What did you think about it?
I mean, it was different. It was a nice, mellower episode compared to what we have been having with the whole fighting with the Spirit Tortoise and all that fun stuff, and getting to see now Fume go to the other world and immediately get trapped.
Yeah, immediately into the infinite labyrinth.
Yeah, and meet our wondrous fishing hero and her.
The hunting hero.
Fishing hero. I don't care what you say.
Hunting hero.
She takes out people like Euclid Ganondorf. Do you know that glitch?
Is it? We're talking about an Ocarina of Time.
I don't remember which one, but it was the fishing rod glitch where you throw the lure at him and pull it and it distracts him and you get to whack him. And it just more or less stops Ganondorf from doing shit.
I don't know. I guess I don't know about that one. I'll have to look into it.
Okay, yeah. No, it's just a weird glitch where you can throw your fishing rod at Ganondorf and it offsets him and you smack the shit out of him. But no, overall it was a good episode, sort of setting up where we're going with things, of introducing the new world we're into, the fact that her partners were L'Arc and everyone.
Yeah, and Glass was like her best friend and shit like that. And I think if I remember correctly in the manga, we actually get to have more of a like kind of a detailed example of exactly how long she's been gone.
Yeah.
Once she gets like reunited with some people in that world, whatever, then it kind of is like, oh shit, you've been gone for like X amount of time. So I think that's also going to be coming up potentially in the next episode as well.
Yes.
But I mean, overall, pretty solid episode. You know, had a lot of good moments in it. It was nothing too wild, of course. 'Cause it's like in this second season, it's almost like the second part of this season. It's like we finished the first part with all the tortoise stuff, which that was all dope, good shit there. And now we're kind of entering like, all right, next part of it. You know, about where we're kind of going with things. But still a bummer this is going to end at 13 episodes. I am really bummed about that. I'll be very honest. Now, I don't know if it's going to wrap up nicely, if it's going to wrap up with the cliffhanger, since we already know season 3 is on the way. Because, like, literally, like, maybe like an episode or two is as far as content that I've read. So after that, it's unknown to me. So I don't know where this is going to end. So that's why I'm a little bummed out. It's only a few episodes left. So I don't feel like it would wrap up in these few episodes, in my opinion.
I mean, it might, depending on where they go with it. So
no, and then it's a question on when season 3 is going to come out. Don't say never. It's coming out, Zach. Fuck you. Don't pull this same bullshit.
I mean, it's only going to be freaking. I never said it wasn't coming out. I just kept saying it was going to get pushed back again.
Speaking of something that's been getting pushed back, off topic, I apologize. Did you see that Chainsaw Man's coming to Crunchyroll?
Yeah.
Shout out to that. Yeah. Not just trapped on Netflix. It will be on Crunchyroll this fall. So thank God to that. And it is still set to come out this fall, which, God damn it.
Speaking on that thing of Crunchyroll, though, have you noticed how, since they've now been bought up in Funimation and whatnot, how much more it requires a paid membership to watch stuff?
No, I haven't paid attention to the prices, no.
Well, it's not the prices itself, but they've been member locking a lot more videos than they used to. Because
I didn't notice that.
Used to, for Crunchyroll, it was just members got a week ahead, and then free people had to deal with ads and just a week behind. Mm-hmm. Now they're locking like 3 to 4 episodes of stuff. Because like all the series that we're currently watching, like Spy Family, Skeleton Knight and whatnot, as a free member, you can watch the first 3 episodes, and everything else requires a membership.
Right. Okay. I didn't realize that change got rolled out.
Yeah, business moves more than likely. And a lot of the stuff that's also being member locked is like the Funimation stuff that's been coming over.
That kind of makes sense, though.
Yeah.
Which, are they going away with the Funimation membership, or is that still a membership? Because you had that, right?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's still a membership. I think it just transitions into a Crunchyroll membership from what I remember.
So it's only Crunchyroll membership then?
As far as I am aware, I haven't really looked into it, though.
Oh, okay. Any other thoughts on Shield Hero? I mean, it wasn't a whole lot of an episode. It was just kind of like real basis. You know, they come into the world, they learn quickly that they're back to level 1. You just some base level up bullshit. Raphtilia's a little small again, small baby, and just bullshit like that. But it's nothing like over the top. They got in and out of the infinite labyrinth within this episode. So any other thoughts on it?
I mean, other than just now Fume freaking IQing it and just going, "There's a glitch. We can break this."
Basically.
And him more or less going, cardboard. They're like the orange balloons. And more or less setting that he's going to see a bunch of monsters again that are just this world's versions of the things he beat up.
Right. I also like how there was like that quick joke about the lolly.
Yes.
Yeah, where he's just like, "Are you a lolly?" And he stopped himself, and she knew what he was like. He's like, "Oh, so you do know what that is."
Are you going to call me a lolly hag? Oh, you do know what that is. And then just had Raphtelia and Riesha going,
"What's
lolly
that?
Hag?
What is that?" Don't worry about it. Story for another day. Don't worry about it.
Worst part is just, she says she's 18, but she's been gone for years. So for as far as we know, she is like a century old or something.
Yeah,
like
right. All right, you want to hop over to... What do you want to hop over to? Because the rest is kind of on you. Because I unfortunately did not watch Spy Family this week, which I'm big sad about.
Did you watch Tomodachi?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll finish up with that since you didn't say something.
Yeah, so Spy Family, Skeleton Meme Quest. Floor is yours. Where do you want to go?
So Spy Family... I want to know if you remember this. So in Spy Family, we had the whole orientation stuff with...
Of the school?
Yeah. And it was actually a 2-parter. The first part was Anya getting her uniform, and then Lloyd having to go do a mission. And he sent Anya and Yor to go pick it up. And the lady mentions whole kidnapping, and some thugs try to kidnap Anya only for Yor to scare the living hell out of them.
No, I don't remember that. But then again, I also didn't remember the whole fucking castle thing happened.
Yeah. So the first part was that of Anya and Yor getting closer, and then finishing up that part with Lloyd coming back home to Yor training Anya in the living room with punches.
Oh, okay. Yes, I remember that. I remember
that scene too.
Yeah.
And the second half is the orientation of welcoming the new students, her being put in her class hall and everything, and Lloyd just going, that's that person, Sean? That's that person, Sean? Anya, make friends with all of them. And her just reading about,
Yeah, got you.
and also learning that the whole Tartarus bolts and Stella stars to be able to become a scholar student. I forget what it's exactly called, to be able to get into that party so he can meet his target. And then just finishes up with Anya interacting with her class for the first time, and them touring the school, and ending with her punching the shit out of Damien.
Here we go. Here we go.
And getting her friendship with...
Forgot her name.
I forget her name.
The one that's in love with Lloyd.
Yeah, her last name's Black Bell.
Yeah,
and later
yeah.
she becomes trying to become a homewrecker.
Yeah.
Slight spoiler for everyone for later in the series, but
it's all right.
It's dumb.
Yeah, it's okay. It's dumb series. Yeah. She tries to basically try to get with Twilight. It's a little kid, but she's like in love with Twilight.
Kid. She's
She's in love with Twilight. Twilight's like, what the fuck is this kid doing?
It's a whole thing, and that was sort of where they ended the episode with. After all that stuff, and Lloyd and Yor being pulled away by the headmaster guy and going, we had to give her a Tartarus bolt. And he's just like, it's over. We're done.
This is it. There's no hope. I love Twilight's like just moments of like pure defeat on this, where it's like one thing happens with Anya, whatever, because he's referenced this before, that it's like he's having to put the fate of the mission in someone else's hands.
Yeah.
And he's just like, we're fucked. This is it.
And I did forget to mention in this episode, we actually got to see the first look of his boss, the handler lady with the with the red hair and big old hat. And when he goes to the mission he had to go to, which sent Yor and Anya on, he does the whole secret spy thing. There's a photo booth that's actually an elevator that goes down, and he goes in the office. He's like, hey, handler. She just starts, Twilight, two things. What the hell were all those expenses about the castle and everything? And he's just like, they were necessary. Here's more bills, by the way. And her just go, you think we're made of money?
Yes. Yes, actually.
So that fun little interaction with her. I mean, that was the main stuff of Spy Family. I mean, it was Spy Family. It had its comical moments and slight serious moments here and there. Yor going full assassin on normal people.
What about your ha 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 skeleton knight?
So
Ha 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 ha.
This one was a bit odd. So save the elves, all that fun stuff. Now he's traveling around with his elf companion now on an official capacity, and they're deciding where to go and everything, and they're going to go through a forest, and apparently the forest has been getting attacked by haunted wolves. That's literally their name, haunted wolves.
Okay.
So of course, naturally, while they're traveling through the forest, they get attacked by haunted wolves. And they're called that because these are wolves that can make illusions of themselves to confuse people, confuse their prey and everything. So they're fighting and everything and whatnot. They kill a couple in Arc, our MC. Sees the pack leader because they attack in packs, like naturally for wolves. He goes and dimension moves to fight the wolf and sees that it has a anklet that a basilisk monster he killed a couple episodes ago also had. And he realizes that something's off about it, destroys the anklet based on the previous thing with the basilisk. The wolf sort of stops, goes, this isn't right. Calls off the pack and looks at Ark and just like, respect, walks off. Ark's just like, okay. The elf is like, what, did you just fight the pack leader? What happened? It was nothing. Carries on. She also mentioned that haunted wolves' tails are like the best gift for an elven bride to make a veil out of. And we found out the previous episode that her older sister's getting married. So naturally, this haunted wolves that they killed She strings up, bleeds them to cut off their tails and to collect the tails to make this veil.
Also, question about previous episode. Did we follow back up on the whole spell thing that...
All right.
Yeah.
So at the end of the previous episode, he used Uncurse on his arm to see if he could actually break this curse that's now become a part of him, which was just part of his character's backstory. It turns out it is a full-blown curse because it goes back to that. He's like, my God. Then it just dissipates. And then he spends the night just doing that, trying to see if he can get it to hold, and it doesn't hold. Just he can uncurse it for a couple seconds, then it comes back, turning him to a full skeleton.
Okay.
Then starts traveling and all this and does this whole thing with the wolves. And in the meantime, the princess of one of the kingdoms is going somewhere to deal with this whole possible elven slave trade, which is against a treaty with the elves and could lead to a whole war between the elves and the kingdom. Well, it's very heavily hinted that her second brother is probably part of this elven slave trade, and she's going to deal with it and find out more information, investigating it, and he has her assassinated.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Just straight assassinated.
That's unfortunate.
Did
Yor do it?
No, not this time.
Damn it.
It was a bunch of guys.
Oh, okay.
So running through her carriage going through the forest gets attacked. All her guards get murdered. Her maid gets murdered. She stupidly, after seeing her maid gets attacked, also jumps out of the carriage for emotional reasons. Dead.
Emotional reasons.
I mean, that's literally the only reason.
Okay.
Literally, the scene was her maid goes out with a knife. Back, you bet. Slash. No, my mate. Stab. I was like, all right. Dang, my nose itches. Ponta, our furry little companion, heard noise was going on and starts running in that direction. Rock's just like, Ponta, where are you going? Damn it. I gotta go deal with this. I'll be back. Runs after. He finds the scene to go, well, this is messed up. And this is a funny moment. So he just Ponta lands on the face of one of the assassins. He's just like, this strange creature is attacking me. His boss is like, just kill it. We don't need it. As he's going to do, he's just holding Ponta up and just grabs his arm, completely breaks it.
Okay.
And it's just like, that's my pet. And murders guy. And all of them are just like, who is him? He's seen too much. He's just bent over the princess going, she's dressed very nicely. She must be a noble of some sort. Meanwhile, all these assassins are just hitting him in the back with all these spells, and he's just like, that wound seems sort of deep. Wonder if I can revive her. Just being attacked, and I was like, he's a monster. What is going on? He just turns around and is just like, yeah, I should probably get rid of them before I do this. And as he's doing this and turns around, they're all sort of screaming, turns around. The wolves are now attacking. The alpha wolf came back to help him out. So all these wolves are now attacking the assassin. It's just like, all right, it's killing time. Pulls out his sword, murders all of them. He sort of nods at the wolves. The pack leader nods at him. They peace out. Him doing his thing. He's just like, let's see what happens. I have this spell. Begins to start reviving people. He revives the princess, revives their maid, revives some of her guards. There's a limit to the spell. If the bodies are too damaged or it's been too long since they died, they're dead. Can't do anything about that. So he does that. He disappears. The princess was slightly conscious whenever it happened, so she just sees his white armor in the back, seeing him revive people, thinks he's an angel of some sort. She rallies all her guards and everyone after coming to, and more or less goes, God has given us a chance not to perish here. We must continue our mission. Rallies everyone up and then carry on with their mission. And Ark just rides away going, you know, I didn't realize she was going to be like some really big noble. This may be a historical moment in time. Oh, well. And walks off.
Oh, well, okay. Fuck it, I guess.
And then we have our natural meme quest.
Here we go.
So the tropes went heavy this time.
Oh, no.
So the previous episode ended with Zabawara creating his zombie ultra being. More or less the big ultra being that we've seen a couple times now, from his son that became one and then him turning Hadlar into one. This is its ultimate form of a zombie. All the corpses of all the dead monsters and whatnot turn to this thing. And she's like, the only weakness it has is cutting my magical supply. So I'm going to hide inside it. And it has a nice little clear round dome where he can poke his head out and be like, goes back into the body. More or less, it just becomes a big old fight of all the side characters going, we can't harm it. Smack, smack, smack. Killing people and everything. And everyone going, what do we do? Yada, yada, yada. Crocodile has a moment where the guy is about to crush and Crocodile grabs his legs like, I got you. And him just being, so this is what you thought. I'm going to kill you, Crocodile. And then while this is going on, we have a whole moment between Edgelord II, whose name I forget, but he's called the Hero of the North, and whenever he went up against Dai, went, I'm the real hero, and I'm going to be Edgelord. Then Dai has this whole thing with him, and he's just like, I'm not as big of an edgelord as I thought I was. Crap, what's his name? The blacksmith guy who's been making weapons for all Dai and his people, and made Lord Varn's weapon way back when he was in the underworld. Mm-hmm. Those two have a moment where he's just going like, where Edgelord II more or less goes, I do have a weapon that can hurt it. I can use a life blade, which equivalents to him essentially just doing a Kurobara sword. He's using his life energy to make this sword. He's literally growing old while he's doing this, and he's using his life force to make this blade and attack with it. More or less going like, I know it won't scratch it much, but I'm gonna keep hitting until I die. Everyone being awed by his determination, even the blacksmith. As Edgelord II goes to charge, the blacksmith gets in the way, takes the head, and he's just like, I can't let you do that. After seeing this, you still have a long life to live. If anyone's going to die, I will. I've lived 10 times your life form. And he proceeds to summon a giant rock in the face of a demon that he just had in a freaking thing in his back pocket.
Like the Majora's Mask moon?
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's just like, I'm going to use my masterpiece that I've been working on for years. Literally pulls it out of his back pocket, throws it in the air, big ass rock.
Majora's Mask moon, confirmed.
Yeah. Zabuera's just like, I don't know what that is, but I need to stop it. And he goes and just, I got you. The rock falls down, breaks, turns out to be 2 swords. Okay? It's apparently weapons very specifically made that the guy has made for himself. And the swords are so powerful that it's the only weapons he can use his full strength of. But he even says when he gets in position, like, when I strike, I'm only going to swing twice. Once with this one, once with this one. I'm going to cut you into quarters, and this is going to fucking destroy me. All right? Then we proceed to have a show off of Zabuera and him just going back and forth because he's just holding this stance the whole entire time. He's just like, it's like, why aren't you swinging? I can only swing these once, so I'm waiting until you can't move.
Oh.
So they keep going, and eventually he does his thing. He slashes him. Complete cut Zabuera. His creature thing has been completely offed. Zabuera has been wounded, and our blacksmith guy's arms. It has a nice moment where he has his arms. They just slowly turn purple and just shows all the bones of his arms turning to dust.
Ooh.
Edgelord II goes, more or less goes to him, that was beautiful. I thank you. Will you teach me how to use the sword? And the guy's just like, sure, I'll take you as a pupil. Everyone's happy. He's found his calling. He's got a pupil. And they have a moment where he just tells him, open up my liquor and give me a swig. And it's a moment where he can't even open the liquor. He's just like, first thing I got to teach you is how to open a damn bottle. And then Zabuera tries to crawl away, and Crocodile's like, I got you. And Crocodile, I'm assuming he's going to stomp the shit out of Zabuera.
Okay.
Literally, Crocodile in this entire episode, he was there doing things, but it was just him going to Zabuera, I got you. Yeah, meme quest is meme quest.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be until it finally ends for you, which God knows when that's going to be. You poor soul. All right, before we hop over to Tomodachi Game, Josh, how was One Piece this week? Okay, all right. Sounds like One Piece is pretty fire right now.
I have no idea.
It sounds like it's pretty good. You know, we're the fights are starting in One Piece. Josh broke that down very well just now. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate you, man. All right, let's hop over to Tomodachi Game, episode 7. Okay, all right. So Tenji's now throwing his heart out there to our protagonist.
Yes.
I'm drawing a blank on his name.
No, I'm not going to remember it. I got it wrong last week, too.
Yeah, I think you said Taichi last week, which was what I said the first
Yeah.
time. Wait, hold on. I know what it is. I just realized. I'm glad I caught it in this episode. I kept saying Yuchi in Summertime Rendering. That's Tomodachi Game's protagonist.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Summertime Rendering's protagonist is Shinpei. My bad. I mixed them up. Oh, man, this show. You know, we might as well go ahead and rebrand this show to a terrible Animan show. You know, just kind of loop it in with a terrible football
what we
show.
really need to do is we just need to, so this shot of Josh, we just need to put like a whiteboard behind it of just names we can't remember.
Yes. Yes. All right. So just play. All right, Zach, flip to Josh. Okay, that's the name. Yep. Okay.
Oh.
So yeah, apologies if you made it this far. Let's just, you know.
And you watch Summertime Rendering and go, who the hell is he talking about?
It's like, who the fuck is Yuchi? What is this dumbass referring to? It's all part of the Sparky 3 charm, ladies and gentlemen. Just keep that in mind. That's why we have a literal trash can in our merch store. Like a hand-drawn trash can on a t-shirt. Is for reasons like this.
That one kills me.
Anyway, so yes, Tenji just kind of like completely spills his heart out to Yuchi, telling him about the past with his father and telling him how Shio is actually like really just like pure evil in his mind.
A very controlling and attention-seeking person.
Yes. At least that's the way Tenji makes it out to be. Is it true, though? That's what we have to find out. Or did Tenji just kind of make this up in his head? You know what I mean?
Well, what I'm getting from this series is what it's trying to let you know is, hey, your group of friends you probably don't know them as well as you think to.
Yes.
And friendships tend to be connections of convenience, is at least how this show is putting it.
Right.
Because it's more or less putting all of these people have a dark side, and they've just been showing you the side that they're willing to show people.
Yep.
But they're all pieces of shit.
Now, the one thing that I kept asking in this episode, besides it being important for us as the viewer to experience this series, right? Mm-hmm. What the hell was the purpose in all of the Tenji Shio stuff where it's just like, you know, now that we learn this, where it's like, you know, he wants to get revenge, essentially, is what he was saying. But what I'm referring to was all this buildup that he was actually in love with her and obsessed with her. You know, because I mean, like, I understand it's for us as the viewer, but it's like you're even getting inner monologue of himself, you know, talking about this. So it's just like, that's where I just feel like, okay, so it feels like all of that was pointless. You know, because at least the way I look at it, because like, again, we're getting his own inner thoughts in these previous episodes of where he wants to keep her all to himself, which could still relate, like, oh, he wants to get revenge. But like, it was very clearly how it was built, you know, that he was like so madly in love with her.
It depends on how you look at it.
It does.
When you look at the show as a whole, based on all the episodes, it's very much red herring and redirecting. So that whole time, when you think about it, the only time he actually said that he was in love with her was out in vocally when he was talking to the rest of the group to sort of make that spin of it. This is the reason he's doing this and whatnot. When all internally the entire time, he never said he loved her. He just said he wanted to separate her, make her completely dependent on him, and make her his, so he would have full control over her, which I would assume would go into his whole
revenge plot.
Okay,
so that's fair.
So the whole love thing was he never actually said that internally, as far as I remember. It was only towards the other group to sort of spin that tale of his for them, but not himself.
Okay.
So
it just felt like a waste to me at first, but the way you explain it, that does help paint the picture.
This series is very hard at misdirecting and red herring, because like my freaking initial thought of what was happening is non-existent now. It's out the fucking window. I don't expect that at all now.
Okay.
Because like now, based on my train of thought, is freaking based on hearing the stupid rules of this third game after the two of them suffered for 3 days in a cell for whatever reason.
Stupid.
I get what it is. It's a whole mental thing.
Yeah.
More or less, they've been, which makes me curious what the other group did, because they all look fairly okay compared to Yuchi.
And it also makes me curious about the water thing. Did they also just get one single bottle of water split between the 5?
Yeah.
And like you said, they all looked very, very normal. Did they have to stay in there for that long, or did they get some other punishment?
Yeah. But, I mean, based on all these clues we're getting, so that's going to play a big factor. I'm assuming those 5 also had to suffer from that, because we also got introduced to our third, whatever they are, advisors, whatever.
Yeah, the advisor.
And her group, and her mentioning that her group's being led by a genius with high charisma. So, I mean, it may be a thing of where they did the same thing, but him with his charisma led them to do things that he wanted them to do, or think the way he wanted them to, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. And Yuchi's going to... Because Yuchi's already got some dynamic plan, because he's going to probably test Tenji, who claimed he's like, I don't care if you use me as long as we destroy them. Use and abuse me.
Yeah, use me as a tool.
And the initial throwaway line of one of the guys going, whenever they met, going, none of them are girls. And then Yuji, whenever they said the solo person, him going, is it a girl? It's like, he's just going, is it a pretty girl? I go, yeah. Get her over here.
Yeah.
So he's going to do some...
I didn't even catch that. Obviously I heard him say, like, is it a girl? But, like, I didn't even click 2 and 2 together of, he's thinking about what those guys said of, there's no girls here. I didn't even fucking connect that. Jesus Christ. And
then there was also the red herring hint of him going, during Tenji's story of going, we were all best friends until Shiho got involved. And those two became real big, hard for Shiho, and them all going against each other. It was really hitting that whole men relationships can be broken apart very easily by a pretty woman. So
no comment.
So it was going very hard with that theme in this episode, so I'm figuring it's going to go hard throughout the rest of this game of the whole thing, because it ended with Tenji going, we got to let her hide. And I have a feeling Yuchi's not going to have her hide, and he's going to use her for treacherous things. Because I have a very stark consideration that Yuchi is going to have one of them actually turn traitor to go to the other side.
That's what I think too, yeah.
Because the rule just says they can switch sides. It doesn't say how many times they can switch sides. Because they can switch back and forth all they want. So, using Pretty Pigtail Girl to freaking Black Widow in one of these 5 people away from Charisma Genius versus Inner Monster.
Which I did enjoy that shot where it's just like, I have a genius on my squad. And then she's like, yeah, but can a genius kill a monster?
Yes.
I enjoyed that. That was a nice shot.
So, I mean, now that I see where the show's going, there's so many freaking red herrings and stupid things I'm looking at and going, well, there's a connection to this, there's a connection to this. And it may be jack shit. Or I may be finally seeing, like, there's a formula here.
Right. Like you might finally be like cracking the code potentially. With this show, who knows, right?
I mean, we got the whole throw ball Tenji going, I love you. Is this your first time?
Let me take my glasses off.
That came out of left field. I mean, I guess no, it didn't, because I guess Tenji's really playing the whole love thing, because I guess he's figured out from his friends who fell in love with Shiho. God damn it.
It's all coming together. It's all coming together. Well, this really, I'll be curious to see how, because like right now, like when it comes to like the main characters that we've come to know, there's the big focus on these 3. I'm wondering how the other 2, Shibi and Yuko. Is it Yuko maybe?
I don't remember.
Yuko Gary?
What?
I don't know. Yuko. I don't know. Call her Coco.
I don't think that's right.
I think it's Yuko. Yuko something.
I don't think that's right either.
I think it's Yuko something. Don't tell me I'm wrong here. It's not like I just mixed up 2 different protagonist names or anything. But no, I'm curious how they're going to come back into the fold, because right now it seems like the plot for our main characters is now where we are now with episode 7 revolving around Shiho in a way. So I'm curious how the other two will come back into play with this.
Well, from what I'm taking, I'm just going to go from, because those other 3, as far as I'm aware from remembering the rules of the second game, is those 3 have been released from the game for the timing. So they're being let outside. And I assume they have the stipulation like Tenji had once he was released from whatever paying 20 million yen of his life was. Whatever that meant. Whether they carved the inside of him or something.
Yeah, I was curious about that too, because he's just like, they released me like 2 or 3 days later. Yeah. I think is what it was. I was curious about that as well.
And they had the stipulations, don't reveal anything to anybody. Other shit's going to go bad for you.
And he immediately did.
Yeah.
And shit went bad for him.
Because, I mean, there's a whole thing where in the opening it has the people with the... I forget the little mascot character's name. They have the mask and a knife.
Manobu?
Something like Manabu.
Manabu.
Having the Manabu mask and going at them with a knife.
Yeah.
And then there's also the opening in the shot of the 5 people we've just been introduced in a dark forest, which implies that this game doesn't end until they found, so I assume there's a day-night cycle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe shit's going to be different now that they're in the world and people know about that. Maybe they look into it. I don't know.
Well, we got, like, what, 5 more episodes?
Something like that.
6 more episodes, maybe?
Because it's only a 12-episode series.
Yeah, 12 or 13. So, yeah, like 5 or 6 episodes left is all we got to crack this code. And it's also the question, is it's going to get a season 2? Because the manga went on a lot longer than I thought it did.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I mean, it went on for almost a decade.
Dang.
Yeah, and it had, like, the multiple live-action movies and bullshit like that. So, we'll see. We'll see what they do with this one.
From everything they've shown, I could see why it became popular, because it is giving... Because it initially had that roundabout theory that I had, which they've thrown out the window with the stuff they've done. So, I mean, it does have some interesting plot twists and things here and there that make you go, okay, maybe this isn't just two-dimensional.
Right. You really need to think about it. Think about it as more and more kind of pops up where, like, you're doing it a lot deeper than I am, or you're kind of like connecting all the dots.
Yeah.
So, very fascinating show still. I'm definitely enjoying it quite a bit. I'll definitely say, out of everything that we're watching right now, I'm having a lot better time than I did last season. Last season was all right. It was okay.
We stopped in the middle of the season.
It was still okay. There's a reason I stopped. All right, favorite episode of the week.
You're probably gonna have to say Spy Family.
Summertime Rendering. Really enjoyed that one. All right, let's hop over to chapter ratings for the week. Knock this out. Have a good time. Shout out to Josh. He's here with us in spirit over in the corner. One Piece, 1,049. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
no, this didn't come out this week, did it?
Before giving out these ratings, actually it did.
No, I think One Piece is on a break this week. I could. Let me check. I'm drawing a blank right now about what this chapter is. Is it on a break?
Nope, 1,049's there.
Okay, so it's on a break next week is what I'm thinking of. Hold on. Let me go look at the chapter real quick. It was something. Oh, right. Yeah. I know what it is. Shit, my bad. Yeah, I'm stupid. Yeah, this is. Well, I'll say this, and because I don't feel like it's a massive spoiler, considering the anime is always so close anyway. But with how this chapter went, it looks like it's about to happen, boys. We're about to finally get out of Wano in the near future. Like,
oh shit.
Yeah, shit's wrapping up. Like, yeah, like the main fight wrapped up. So all the other fights have been starting to wrap up anyway. But yeah, like the main fight, Luffy and Kaido wrapped up.
Only took fucking forever.
Yeah, we've been in Wano for Josh, how long have we been in Wano?
Pretty sure it's been almost 4 years.
Yeah, I think that's what Josh said too. So yeah, it's been a while, but it looks like we're gonna start wrapping up. Maybe go post Wano here in the
Before we get
next
too
few
deep
months.
dive in this, I want to ask you this because I saw this on Twitter this week. Because I've looked at some Spy Family stuff that people posted of fan arts and whatnot. I got a funny thing that popped up in the Spy Family topic of, I guess, people were posting pages of what was claiming to be the next chapter, or people thought were going to be the next chapter. But I'm pretty sure it was something sketchy because it was like Yor and Lloyd, but Like Yor was like in some negligee.
Oh yeah, that was fan art. I saw that too.
And I went,
Yeah, that popped up on my timeline as well. I saw that. I'm like, I know I've forgotten a lot, but I wouldn't have forgotten that. I was like, this has got to be fan art. There's no way.
Because like people was like, this next chapter was just like, this is a hard turn. I was just like, I don't think this is canon.
Right. All right. Yeah, One Piece, 1049. I'll give that one probably a 9 now that I remembered. My fault. My Hero 352, I'm giving it a 9.
I'll give it an 8.
Dude, this is a damn good chapter. I love this chapter. This was dope. JJK 184. I didn't read this one, dude. JJK has lost me. Like, so I'm only behind this one chapter, but like, was it another fucking stupid ass chapter? Oh, well, that gets my...
I'll give it a 7. It was a panda focused chapter.
Okay.
I laughed because when I got to the end of it, I read the first comment, and the first comment was, I understood this chapter.
I knew what was happening. God damn it. All right. Next up, Mission Yozakura Family 129. I'd give this one probably an 8, maybe a 9. 9. We're going to give it a 9. Mission Yozakura Family is so fucking good. Undead Unluck 110. God, this was also a really good chapter, honestly. I'd probably give this one a 9 as well. This was a good read, bro. Undead Unluck is fucking just hitting on all cylinders right now. Because, like the one thing that was, like, super, super good about this chapter was... I'm trying to think of the best way to kind of relate it, but it's like that. It's like one of those vibes of where Andy's going to put the entire world and everyone on his shoulders, essentially. Because, I mean, with this whole arc thing, you know, like kind of like what... I forgot his name. Rip. What Rip is trying to initially accomplish is, like, you know, try to time travel, save the person that died, you know, whatever. You know, Andy is now on a point where it's like he doesn't want to do this, but he will kill essentially anyone in his way and then plan to save them later, is essentially what he's going to do. Because, like, in this episode, like, you know, like I mentioned, yeah, like if he gets hit on in his head, in his brain gets damaged, his regeneration is a lot slower. So they did that like fatal hit on Andy essentially. So he's, you know, slowly regenerating, and you know, Rip is, you know, holding the other sister who's now dying because she got pierced in that as well. It was like a, you know, pick Goku Raditz situation is what we had, right? And Andy is watching this from like inside his head essentially, and his past persona, who we've come to know, Victor, comes up and talks to him, and Andy's just like, "What's up, Victor? It's not very often that you actually come out and talk to me, whatever." They start kind of chatting about it, and Victor's, you know, it's just like, you know, if you just use my powers a little bit, your generation would immediately kick back up, you know, because it's, you know, Rip's ability, the unrepair, was targeted at Andy, not Victor. So Victor kind of takes over sort of vibe. The unrepair kind of goes null and void, and he can immediately fix himself, right? And then it was just like a conversation between them of like Victor saying, "Are you prepared to do this? You know, you want to save Fuko. You even want to save Rip. You even want to save the girl that has sacrificed herself with, you know, for Rip in this situation. You want to save them all, but are you ready to take on the burdens that's going to come with it, where you essentially need to... anyone in your way needs to get out of your way, basically." And once Andy kind of accepted that, where he's just like, you know, he's going to save everyone sort of vibe, right? I really enjoy. It's kind of like how I talked about last chapter. It was like a flash of multiple things, you know. Yeah. I really liked this chapter as well, the end of it, because the end basically had no dialogue at all, and it just fit the scene so well. The only dialogue was Rip saying "damn it" 3 times. That was it. Like the last couple pages, no dialogue, because it was first like Rip, you know, talking to her, holding her, whatever, and then you like see Andy just like kind of like appear up behind him, you know, fully regenerated, and then like, you know, she like, you know, is about to die, whatever, and then after that it's just like, you know, he stands up, turns around, says "damn it," and, you know, and then it's no dialogue. Andy kind of jumps in the air, you know, fires like his blood cannon things, arm, whatever.
All you said and all I could think of was that video you sent me of no diving.
But dude, it was just a dope scene, man. Andy just like unleashes like a massive blast on both of them. I'm assuming killing them. I don't know. We'll find out next chapter. But dude, the ending of it was good. I'm gonna give it a 9. It was solid. Mashle 107, more training.
7.
I don't really care. 7. Sakamoto Days 70, good ending though. Good.
70
Next
was a good
chapter.
ending.
Next chapter is gonna be
Next
hype.
chapter will be good. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't entirely sure what was going on in this chapter, other than we got a introduction of whatever this other guy's power is or skill is. Not power. Wrong series. He has very good hearing apparently.
Right.
I give it an 8.
Give it 8 as well. Elusive Samurai 62. Did not read this one, unfortunately.
This was actually pretty good. I'll give it an 8.
Okay. Blue Box 52.
9.
I give it a 9 as well. Let's see. P6 32.
I'll give it an 8.
Ayashimon 23. Did not read that one. My fault.
6.
Akane-Banashi. I'll figure
7.
out how to pronounce this sooner or later. All right. I will say My Hero Vigilantes final chapter is going to come out, I think, this week.
Really?
The final chapter is already confirmed. It's 126, I think, or 128, one of the two. I need to go back and look and see when it's coming out. But I think the final chapter of My Hero Vigilantes is coming out this week, I think. If not this week, it'll be the week after, but it's about to end. It is that time of the month again. Dragon Ball Super and Boruto. Chapter 84 for Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, it was Dragon Ball Super. This arc has been very much a letdown, with cerealins and granola and what. This arc's been a letdown. I mean, yeah, like the thing that everyone was pissed off about last chapter. It's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Goku is the way that he is because of a fucking wish is essentially how they set it up. Yes, even Vegeta points it out where he's just like, I can't. Obviously it's it's a Dragon Ball manga. They're not going to curse, but if Vegeta really wanted to say, I can't fucking believe that you're only the way you are because of a fucking wish, and Vegeta's just like, what kind of a privileged Saiyan are you? Oh man. So that was essentially it. I mean, you also got to have Goku continue to reawaken some memories when he was a baby, and a child before he got shipped off, and where he kind of remembered his mom and his dad. Yeah, shipped off, shipped off. Yeah.
Bye, Goku. We're sending you to Saiyan
Kakarot. Yeah. And then Goku's just like, I think I finally know what Saiyan pride is. He finally has that kind of moment, whatever. And then it's just back to the fight. Gas comes back. Yes, Gas. And they just, it's time to square up again. Back to, we'll see how it goes. I mean, there was a very nice, full page shot of right when Vegeta and Goku both transform into Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct. That was a nice shot. And I loved the contradiction of the two of them in this shot, because it's Goku is completely silent, looking down, mouth closed, super focused, and transforms, right? Because it's of how Ultra Instinct is. Meanwhile, Vegeta's just head in the sky, screaming at the top of his lungs. I liked the counter, how different they were. So it was a cool shot. Other than that, the rest of the chapter is just fighting. I mean, it was all right. It ended with one of those moments, right? Ladies and gentlemen, it's coming. Just like it did last time when I predicted this. It's coming. Vegeta's about to get his shit wrecked. This is the way the chapter ended, where Vegeta's kind of getting knocked around, and Gas is like, how are you still standing? And Vegeta's just like, oh, don't you know Saiyans get stronger as they get beat up? It's like, I'm just getting started. I'm like, oh, so you're about to get your ass kicked next chapter. Got it. I'd give it a 7. It was all right. Boruto chapter 70. I don't have a whole lot to talk about on this one. I mean, we're still in that damn room with the chick who can make everyone fall in love with her. Oh yeah. Yeah. They end up leaving because she realizes that Kawaki's on his way, and then Armado, the guy who Leaf has had kidnapped this whole time, who's knows a lot about I know you don't know who that is, but if someone's reading Boruto, he says to Shikamaru that she's freaking out that Kawaki's coming, because Kawaki Otsutsuki's or like someone that like Kawaki, whatever, they can basically nullify her ability. So like they're not going to fall in love with her essentially. So Kawaki could come in there and completely fuck her up if he wanted to. Well, he might not be strong enough to, but you know what I mean. So they basically leave, but they take Armado with them because he's like a scientist. He was like the scientist for Kara. Okay, that was his whole role in this whole thing. Is he was like the scientist, he was the brains, but he is a massive bitch. He's openly a bitch. He's very, very open about this, where he's told Shikamaru up front, "Yo, if they kidnap me, I'm gonna break immediately. I'm just telling you. Like, I don't want to feel pain. Like, I don't want to be hurt. I will give them whatever they want.
Do what we say, or we're done.
Easy." Yeah, so whenever he gets kidnapped, he essentially unlocks Code's power, where Code is no longer limited anymore. I know you don't know who this is.
You keep saying these names. Like,
I know.
You're gonna get
It's a monthly manga. I'm not trying to get a pop. I'm just trying to explain here. I'm only going to talk about this once a month, okay? So I want to try to explain it at least. But it wasn't a whole lot to write home about. I'll give it probably a 7. Spy Family, which was another, like, the final, like, point chapter.
Was the final, yeah.
Of Twilight's backstory. I don't remember what. Boy, it's Twilight's backstory at whatever point. 62.3 is what it is. I'd give it a 9.
I'd give it a 9 as well.
Dude, this was this little backstory was so good.
It was killer.
Dude, so good.
I'm looking forward to getting yours backstory now after this one.
Right. Kaiju didn't have a chapter this week, right? Nope. Okay. Dandadan still not caught up on. That's on me. Tokyo Revengers 253. You see what I mean? I talked to you about this like the other day when the spoilers came out. You see what I mean with how that end was?
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. What the fuck is happening? 7. Yeah. Eden 0191. Didn't read this one. Sorry.
It's more Rebecca stuff. Because,
okay, it is. Because
the person she's fighting went... What's it called again? The thing that everyone does now?
Oh, Overdrive?
Yeah, Overdrive.
He
went Overdrive.
You get Overdrive. You get Overdrive. You get Overdrive.
He went Overdrive and he was just like, I guess.
Josh gets Overdrive. Wait.
Dyslexia at its finest, people.
I do have dyslexia, yes. Josh gets Overdrive.
And more or less, because the previous chapter he went, I guess I need to take this serious and go Nightmare.
Oh, God damn it. It's fucking
So
cool.
it's Kim more or less doing his shit to Rebecca, and Rebecca doing the hero thing of, what do I do? Gotcha. And naturally it's a Rebecca fight, so she's slowly losing sections of her clothing.
Oh, of course. Did you rate it?
6.
Okay. 7 Daily Sins, 4 the Apocalypse, chapter 62. I'd give this one an 8. I did like how... I like how there was one moment where it's like, we had the 4 knights all together, right? Going up, like facing this, this one of the knights from Arthur's, squad, whatever, a bad guy clearly. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, I'm ready to fucking throw down. Let's go. And Percival just walks up to him. Percival, excuse me. Just like, I don't want to fight you. I don't have any hate towards you or anything like that. I think deep down you're actually a good guy. And the guy's just like, so you're telling me just to throw it all away and just join your side, leave Arthur's side, whatever. And, leave Arthur's side and join your side. Is that what you're telling me? And Percival's like, yeah, I don't think you're a bad guy. And he's just like, picks up Percival's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. It just flies away. I'm just like, God damn it, that was great. The only other takeaway for this chapter is more questions on Gawain. Just because like she's summoning her sword. You didn't get to see it immediately. You see it a couple pages later. It's like sacred sword. I don't remember the name, but the name was similar to like Escanor's axe, right? I forgot Escanor's axe name too.
Okay.
But it's not the same name, but it's like a similar name. So I was like, okay, the gold magic, now that's kind of sus. She even used absolute cancel as well, which that's like one of Merlin's things, right? I'm trying to remember. I want to say it was one of Merlin's abilities. I'm like, this character is so sus. I need more information. But I'd give it an 8 though, because I really like that interaction between Percival and that knight. That was really funny. Ranger Rejects still got to catch up on. God of High School still got to catch up on as well.
Yep.
Okay. Unordinary 260. I'll give it a 9.
I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, this is some good shit happened. True Beauty 206. I would give this one probably an 8. Good chapter. Weak Hero 190.
9. It went deep on this freaking psychology of people. Holy hell.
How did this chapter end? I'm trying to, because I read it. I'm just trying to remember which end it was.
It ended with a bunch of
guys going into Gerard's room, right?
Going like,
okay.
That's the guy I almost got to fight him.
Yeah, okay.
We'll take him.
Okay.
And everyone's coming going, there's the door to death.
Yep, okay. Yeah, I'll give it a 9 as well. Elseed 169.
I'll give it an 8.
Sub-Zero 138. I'd give this one, probably an 8. Down to Earth 97. I'd give this one a 7. Suitor Armor 68. I would give this one probably a 9 as well. I really enjoyed this chapter because it was basically like a moment of drawing a blank on her name. I'm so good with names. Our protagonist basically kind of like squaring off like in like just like a conversation battle with like who is kind of being built up as our massive asshole antagonist, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, and it was just a nice little moment because like, you know, this series is all like, you know, medieval fantasy, like whatever. So it's like super professional between them because like this dude is like the uncle of the king of the kingdom, right? And he's a complete asshole. And, you know, he keeps like, you know, fairies who are now turned into elves as his slaves. You know, rips off their wings and he keeps them as his slaves. They're
no, I was confused by the fairies that become elves. What?
Yeah. Okay. So the way this series has it built up is that if fairies have their wings removed, they're just like the humans just simply call them elves at that point.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's just like a verbal kind of battle between them where he's just like, I'm getting the sense that you don't really like me that much, you know. It's just like, you know, it was nice because of that. It was because this dude's a prick. So I'd give it a 9. Reunion 14. I'd give this one probably a 9 as well. This is a very good chapter. I'm ready for the next chapter. Man, this is gonna be good because Rhea is about to find out Shiro's secret of like basically like the family business, which is like essentially kind of like a Yakuza vibe, right? Is essentially what his family business is.
Okay.
And so she is now found out in this chapter that this is, well, she doesn't know for sure that that's what it is, but she knows that his job that he does at night is not an ordinary job. So I'm looking forward to the next chapter. Favorite chapter of the week?
Weak Hero.
It's a good question. I gave out a lot of 9s here today.
Yeah, you did give out a lot of 9s.
There was a lot of good reads this week, man. A lot of good reads. My favorite chapter of the week is honestly probably My Hero Academia. That was a very good chapter between Shoto and good chapter. Loved how that ended. It was number one, drawn beautifully. Just a good kind of wrap up on it.
It was just outlines.
Shut up, Zach. It was beautiful, and you know it. Don't try to be negative on my favorite chapter of the week, you son of a bitch. All right, well, I think that's going to finish up the show. I don't think anything else we want to wrap up on. I did see the official announcement of Fire Force Season 3.
Yep.
The official announcement, because we plugged this like a month ago, I think, when it was like, oh, it's happening. But no, this is the official announcement in Weekly Shonen Magazine, plus a Fire Force original video game.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah, I'll be... if it's done right, I'll be very curious.
Did it say who's developing it?
Nope, not yet. So I'll be curious to see how this goes.
As long as it's not Bandai.
That's a fair thing to say.
They have their name on it, sure, but if they're the actual ones developing, we're screwed.
Yep, fuck. I'd be very curious to see how that goes, but I don't think there's anything else.
I did discover there's a golf manga out there called Golf King, just volume 38, just released.
So there's Prince of Tennis and now there's Golf King. Okay, all right.
And just seeing the cover art of volume 38, I was like, this series looks ridiculous. I'm going to read it.
Right on.
Because I just picture Mario Golf X specials.
Right. I don't have any updates on this, but I did pick back up 86 light novels.
Hey.
Yeah, just because, so I know what chapter I ended on in light novel volume 5, but since it's been so long, I just decided to go ahead and restart the volume.
Okay.
So I'm still only in the second chapter. Because the first chapter, I'm only in the first chapter. Because the first like part is out, just the prologue, whatever. It's just like a 20-minute listen, and then chapter 1's like 2 hours. So yeah, I decided to go ahead and restart it. Picked that back up recently. Looking forward to seeing what all happens, because I think I got to I think there's 6 or 7 chapters in that light novel, and I think I got to chapter 5 whenever I was listening to it, but I just figured I'd go ahead and restart it. It's been a while, so I don't really remember everything. But now that I'm listening to it, it's all kind of coming back. You know, it's okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I remember that now. But yeah, looking forward to continuing on that. 86 is so good, bro. I need the next season to be announced. That's all I need right now. My life would be complete if that happened. Don't shake your head at me, you son of a
You know
bitch.
what you need?
What?
More ugly Sonic.
That's true. We live in the best fucking timeline. We really do.
That's one of the weirdest cameos of the week.
Oh man, I love it. Can we get Ugly Sonic in some animes, please? Like, put him in some animes. Put him in some other random movies. You know, he should have been in the Multiverse of Madness. Come on. You know, can we get Ugly Sonic like in Sonic the movie 3? Like, just throw him in there like Sonic was in the first one. You know, please. We live in the best timeline right now, at least for Sonic. Shout out to Sonic. Yeah, anything else we want to chat about? I'm going to hit the music, wrap it up.
I think I'm good.
Let's do it.
Like, comment, subscribe, rate, whatever your platform allows. It does help. If you're watching this on YouTube and you hit that subscribe button, it'll definitely help out. If you actually want to know when anything's uploaded, you can hit the bell. Thank you very much. Bye.
Do everything that he said and more. Go check out the website, sparky3.com. Sign up for free or sign up $5 a month, get early access podcast episodes, and other things that will sooner or later happen, I guess. Promo code ANNIV for 25% off on sparky3shop.com because anniversary didn't fit. Join the Discord, especially if you're a football fan. Please join the Discord because Terrible Football Show will probably be going live this fall every single week, and we'll be taking calls. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time. Really pumped for that. I can't tell you how excited I am for that. I think that's it. Yep. At Animan Podcast Twitter. Other shows, Game Static, Spark Park. Talk about movie stuff. Should have a new episode of that out soon. Looking forward to that. I think it's it. Oh, shout out to Josh. Back into the episode. Thank you, Josh. Shout out to 2 years of this show. Shout out to 2 years of the other shows. Thank you so much for listening. We cannot express our gratitude enough. Cheers to 2 years. Cheers to 2 more. See you guys. Have a good one.
Bye.